Hey guys, it's Sunoa from Irish Journey. This week I'm in the UK exploring universities. As some of you may know, I'm from California and I currently live in Portugal, and I'm applying to schools in the UK. So come along with me as I explore schools in the UK. So I want to start off by talking about some of the reasons why I'm applying for school in the UK, even though I'm a US citizen. First up, let's talk about costs. In the US, college tuition can be astronomical, especially for out-of-state or private universities. Even with scholarships or financial aid, the costs add up quickly. In the UK, however, tuition is significantly lower. Sure, it's still not cheap, but when you compare it to the US universities, the difference is huge. Another major reason is the duration of the degree program in the UK. In the US, most bachelor degrees take 4 years to complete. In the UK, however, most programs are only 3 years long. That means I can graduate early, start working, or move on to further studies sooner. Another thing I really like about the UK system is how the first year works. In the UK, universities use a classification system instead of a GPA. Your final degree classification, like first class, 2-1, or 2-2, is the main indicator of your academic success and is what employers look at. What I love about the UK system is that first year grades don't count towards this classification, or they only count for about 10%. In other words, universities really want students to get adjusted during their first year. They recognize it's a big transition, and they give students the space to learn how to perform and refine their study habits without the pressure of it affecting their final degree classification. With the second and third year grades making up most of the final result, I can focus on excelling as I adjust to university life and set myself up for more success in the long run. Another thing that's appealing to me is that many universities in the UK have very few exams, if any at all, for my major. Instead, classes are often graded on assignments like annotating bibliographies, reflective and academic portfolios, textual analysis, presentations, essays, research projects, and policy reports. This means I can demonstrate my understanding of the material in ways that don't rely solely on traditional exams, which is a refreshing change from the US system. And finally, the last benefit to attending universities in the UK: proximity. My family and I live in Portugal right now, and it's so much easier and cheaper to hop on a flight from Lisbon to the UK than it would be to fly from Lisbon to the US. Being close to home is incredibly important, and the UK is just a couple of hours away by plane. So, when you put it all together, the lower cost of tuition, shorter degree duration, the fact that first year grades don't heavily impact your final classification, the opportunity to showcase academic skills through essay, research projects, and other assignments instead of exams, and the convenience of being close to Portugal, it just makes sense for me to apply to universities in the UK. Now, because I live in Portugal, some of you may be wondering why I'm not applying for universities here in Portugal. I actually have a lot of friends who are at university here, and I also have friends that are going to apply to universities here in Portugal. But the benefit to applying to schools in the UK is that everyone speaks English. My Portuguese isn't advanced enough to study at the university level in Portuguese. Plus, since English is my first language, I prefer to go to a university that teaches entirely in English. I'm also applying to schools in the US. And the schools that I'm applying for in the US are highly regarded as well, offering worldwide recognition. Both US and UK universities open doors for me globally, which gives me a lot of flexibility in terms of where I want to live and work after graduation. Whether I choose to stay in Europe, head back to the US, or even explore other parts of the world, having a degree from either a UK or US school gives me options and opportunities no matter where I go. Of course, there are pros and cons to attending UK universities, and there are pros and cons to attending US universities. I'm excited to see where this journey takes me and what opportunities I'll have to grow both academically and personally. So that's the end of my tour here in the UK. If you have any questions, make sure to comment down below. And if you like this video, make sure to like, subscribe, and join the journey.